Now I'm going to talk about inheritance. Let's bring up the slides for inheritance. Okay. What inheritance does is you can take a class and it can inherit from a class above it. It can take attributes, it can take methods from the class above it. So you take a general category such as employee, and I can make a more specific class, say salaried employee, and it will take everything from the employee class and inherit it down to the salaried employee class. It inherits data, it inherits methods from existing classes. And from these classes, I can make specific objects. I can make an employee object, or I can make a salaried employee object. So let's look at an example here. Here's customer. And notice in customer, I have a ID number for the customer, and it's a string. And how much they've bought, purchase total, and that's a number. Again, they're private. Now, you don't see a constructor. What does that mean? The constructor is automatically created by the software, or the compiler. So here I'm setting the ID number. Nothing's returned, so it's void. So I read in the string, set the ID number. Here I get the ID number, and I'm returning a string. So I return the ID number. Here I'm setting the purchase total, purchases, goes into purchase total. I'm returning nothing, so it's void. And here I'm getting the purchase total. And again, I'm returning a number, and it's the purchase total. These are the methods. These are the attributes for this class. And I can create class objects like I did before. First customer is a customer. So there's my object, first customer, from class customer. Second customer is an object, and it also comes from class customer. Now, what if I want to create a preferred customer class? Now I can start all over again and put in ID numbers and purchase totals and set ID number and get ID number and set purchase total and get purchase total. Or I can just inherit it. And here is a flow chart showing the preferred customer. It inherits, the arrows going up, from customer. These are class diagrams. Here, preferred customer, you just put in the pseudocode inherits from customer. And notice the only difference between them is the preferred customer will have a discount rate. I don't need to set the ID number and the purchase total. I inherit those to preferred customer. And so I can set the discount rate, and again, it returns nothing, it's a void, or I can get the discount rate and it's going to return a number. That's all I need to do. All this is already there because I inherited it. So, why do we want to use inheritance? I don't have to repeat all the customer fields. I don't have to rewrite the whole thing. Since customer already exists and it's been used and it's been tested, there's less chance of errors when I create my preferred customer. If I know how customer works, I pretty much know how preferred customer works also. So there's no learning, relearning. And if you think about, say, a lot of the apps you use or the Windows programs you use, those are, a lot of us inherited. You'll see file is always in the same place and prints under that. They keep it all the same. So if you understand, if you understand Word, you can kind of get an understanding of how Excel is going to work. Shared fields, it reduces the chance of inconsistencies in shared fields. Makes programs easier to write, easier to understand, and less prone to errors, and makes code reusable. And why is it reusable? Because I don't have to change customer. I can use it wherever I need customer. In some places I need preferred customer. I just inherit from there. Now, just to understand terminology, class that is used as the basis for inheritance, like customer, is the base class. It's also known as the parent class. The derived class or extended class is the class that inherits from the base class. In this case, preferred customers, derived class, extended class, also child class. Base class is also known as superclass, and derived class is also known as subclass. Most of the time, I will use parent class and child class. Also, it is a case or instance of a base class, what that basically says is preferred customer is a customer. Every preferred customer is a customer, but not every customer is a preferred customer. So we go from the general customer to the more specific preferred customer. And here they just show evergreen class can be considered a subclass of the tree superclass. Or you would call evergreen class is a child class of the parent class tree. To discover which is base and which is derived class, say the names together. More specific name is first, and they said evergreen tree. So evergreen is more specific than tree. And look at the size. The derived class generally is larger than base, and that's because it has more attributes, usually, and possibly more methods. If you look at customer, we had 2 attributes and 4 methods. With preferred class, we have the original 2 attributes plus a 3rd attribute. So we have 3 attributes instead of 2, and we have 6 methods instead of 4. And the ancestors are the entire list of the parent class. So if I look at ancestors, in this case dog, I have domestic pet, animal, and then object. These are all ancestors of dogs, and these are all classes. Dog inherits from, poodle inherits from dog, and all the way up. And my poodle Pierre inherits from poodle, which inherits from dog, which inherits from domestic class, animal, object. I can continue to go all the way up. So this is just showing a demo. I can set customer 1 to customer and customer 2 to preferred customer. And I set the ID number for customer 1. I set the purchase total to 7. Customer 2, I set the ID number. I set the purchase total to 8. And I set the discount rate to 0.08 because it has a discount rate. Then I can output customer 1, so it's 111. The purchase total is 700, and I can also output customer 2. And customer 2 again is preferred customer, get purchase total. Even though that does not exist in the preferred customer class, it's inherited from the customer class. So I get purchase total, same thing. So I get the ID numbers, 222, purchase total, 800. And the get discount rate comes from the child class, and that's the 0.08. A child class contains the data fields and methods of its parents, but the parent class cannot access the child's data and methods. So customer 1 will never have a set discount rate because that's in the child. It can't do it. So I can't do it. So again, the child contains the data fields and the methods of its parents, but the parent class cannot access the child's data. So let me just get out of here and let's go into some code. So first I just want to show you, and this is again C#. Here's a customer class. And I have an ID number and a purchase total. And here I put in some constructors. Again, you know it's a constructor because it has no return type and it has the same name as the class. This one is just a default constructor. I'm going to set the ID number to 56R43 for whatever reason. And I overloaded the customer because here's another one with ID and purchases. So ID is ID num, purchase is purchase total. And again, I set ID number, get ID number, set purchase total, and I'm going to make sure purchase greater than 1,000 is just going to be equal to 1,000. So I don't allow anything greater than 1,000. And get purchase total. So there's my customer base. Now I'm going to have preferred customer. Now in C#, all I have to do is put a colon, and this says preferred customer inherits from customer. That's all that means. And I'm going to add discount rate. So set discount rate. It's a double. And rate equals discount rate. Now, what I want to do is get the purchase total. Well, if I look at customer, purchase totals here, it's a double. It's protected. And protected means only the child can read it. No other class or object created can read it. Only child objects can read it from the parent class. So I can get purchase total, put in purchases, and then determine the discount rate and set the purchase total. And I'm done. So let's look at the program. Here's main. Customer 1 is a new customer. So I can set the purchase total, enter the customer ID number, and I'll read in the ID number, enter the total amount purchased, and I'll read in the purchases, and then I'll set a customer 2 with the ID number and the purchases. Now, because I did not use, I used the default customer here. If I look over here, the default's going to set it to 56R43. So now let's go back here. And again, customer 2 is just going to have an ID and purchases. Now I'm going to create a customer 3, and it's going to be a preferred customer. I'm going to set the ID number to 222N. I'm going to set the total purchases to $1,563.89. And I'm going to give them a discount of 8%. So let me stop it here so we can just see what's going on. Here. Oops, wrong one. And here. Okay, so let's start the program. And we hit the first breakpoint. So let's go to set purchase total. And we set purchase total. And it's 1,000. No, it's not. So we'll set the purchases. If I look up here, oops, the ID number is 56R43, which I said because I'm using this constructor. And the purchase total is 715. Okay, so let's continue. So that is one customer. That's customer 1. So let's continue. Enter customer ID number. I'll say 43EW2. And for the total amount purchase, I'll say $345.44. Okay, so I hit the second one. So this is customer 2, and we'll just go through here. And if I look at the ID, it's 43EW2. Purchases is $345.44. I set those two, and notice I'm using the second constructor. So if I look at ID number, therefore my customer 2. So we'll continue. And we just now hit customer 3, which is a preferred customer. So, and I did it at the wrong place. Okay, so let's just jump to the discount rate. And if I look at customer 3, set discount rate, the rate is 8%, so purchases, discount rate thing. Okay, so now I'm going to get purchase total. So it means I have to go to the customer class, get purchase total. And if I look up here, the ID number is 222N, which is what I set for the preferred customer. The purchase total is 1,000, which I set for the preferred customer. If you look over here, 222N, preferred customer. And, oops, I'm sorry, purchase total is 1,563.89. That's interesting. So let's go back to here. So is that, well, why is that? Let's just keep going through and see what happens. Purchase total. Oh, it's because I was greater than 1,000, so it set it to 1,000. That's why. Right, let's see. Yeah, 1,563, so I set it to 1,000. So now I get to get purchase total, so I got the purchases, and it should say, let's see what purchases equal to 1,000, right, this is what it was, times 0.8, so I'm going to determine what the new rate is. Once I get over the discounts, it's 920. So I set purchase total to 920. So I go back to the customer class, set purchase total, and it's less than 1,000, and it's going to set it to 920. So if I look up here, 920, the ID number is 222N, everything is good in the world. And I'm back into my preferred customer app. My discount rate's still 0.08. And I go back. And then over here, I'm just going to put out the 3 different objects, customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3. And I'll get the ID numbers and purchase totals for all 3. And then for the third one, I'll also do a discount rate. So I'll just continue here. And let's bring it up. There's 222N920 and 0.08. So this is inheritance. We have a child class inheriting, which in this case is the preferred customer, or subclass if you want to call it that, inheriting from, here's the parent class, customer. It didn't have to redo the ID number and the purchase total. I just inherited that. I didn't have to redo the constructors here and the gets and the sets. I just inherited that. And even though I went over the set purchase total, it worked out correctly because I inherited that. So all I did was add discount rate to the child class. So hopefully that'll help you somewhat in doing inheritance. Thank you.